Look how old you've become.
Kia ora Star Wars fans, welcome to middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures. In this video, I'm going to make a case for why we need a new Kylo Ren figure in the vintage collection. So bear with me, I'll make that case for you now. Alright, and as you can see, and I'm sure most of you know already, we already have a Kylo Ren in the vintage collection line. It's this one as depicted in The Force Awakens. It's got quite a nice film image there. He comes with an unlit lightsaber, a lit lightsaber. He's VC 117, part of that initial wave of when Vintage Collection was relaunched in 2018. So you can see there, basically all of those figures, though, derived from the 3.75 inch Black Series line. So we'll get into that. So this is the figure out of the package, and I'll tell you why he's not so good today. Alright, so while he was in the vintage collection, as I said before, he was just a repack of a figure that came out in 2016 in the Walmart exclusive 3.75 inch Black Series line. It's a mouthful. And it was a terrible time for 3.75 inch action figures for Star Wars. Anyway, the lightsaber looks really nice, and we'll have a look at his lightsaber hilt as well. It is a real cool design, and it has little bits of paint apps. I don't know if you can see that, but it actually has like a little bit of red paint for the wire on his lightsaber there, which I think is a really nice touch. Not a lot of other paint apps. The helmet paint app looks pretty good, although I can see on this one there's a little bit of silver bleed onto his visor, the belt buckle. Anyway, really cool. But that's my stand falling to the floor. So he has this pretty solid headpiece, so it's all cast in one with the hood over. And the hood detailing is really nice, but you can't do much with his head. Shoulder articulation is normal. Elbows, you don't get a huge amount of motion, just on 90. And he has swivel wrists. No hinge there, so you can see already even in his upper body it's going to be hard for him to wield his lightsaber dual-handed. He has, as I said before, he has some really nice soft goods actually mixed with some plastic for his underskirt. So it's an interesting design, and in the second of the movies of that trilogy, instead of having like this, as Mike could say, the old lady skirt when I dress up as Kylo Ren, he has more of a cape. And if we can get underneath all his skirts, he's got that older style hip articulation. And he doesn't even have the John Moran joint, so he doesn't have the thigh swivel, which can be problematic. Knee bend is nowhere near 90. And he doesn't have rocker ankles, he just has a hinge, and you can't really do too much with it. So lower articulation is severely limited, and this plastic gets in the way a bit as well, but the articulation's not good enough anyway. So there we go. So just to reiterate the helmet and hood thing in the vintage collection, it looks like this. So it's all molded as one piece, but thankfully it comes off very, very easily. And one of the things about The Force Awakens is it came out in 2015. It's 10 years old this year, so I'll be celebrating that 10-year milestone. But at the time it was all about 5 POA in 3.75 inch scale, which was very annoying. But then again, at the same time, we did get a lot of these variations of Kylo Ren in the 3.75 inch line, and you can quite easily swap the heads and accessories. So here's a unmasked Kylo Ren. Here is a 5 POA Kylo Ren with the same kind of hood as we got in the vintage collection. I'll just pop it behind there. Then we got the Last Jedi version, and again this is an unmasked one with his different, more Vaderish I think, look there with the long cape, and again an unmasked hood. What else have we got? I really like this one. So this is a 5 POA one which just has the helmet without the hood. And again, it's just the same mold as the other one, but it looks really good. And then we've got a whole bunch of combinations of hood, so that's like the classic hood. I think they can just go over the top of this one. In fact, that's what it's supposed to do. So the 5 POA one actually has more play value than the Vintage Collection one. And then we have these other variants, so like there's hood down. So I think that one's actually supposed to go with this dude here. Adam, drive, your head's so big, I have to pop it off. Put it back down. So there he is with hood down. But the cool thing is that the head pegs were pretty universal, so it was pretty easy to make a custom. Alright, so center I've still got my Vintage Collection Kylo Ren, and then I've got the 5 POA Last Jedi Kylo Ren. And this is the custom I made, which is a very simple and inaccurate. I basically just cut off the soft goods and cut that lower tunic to be a bit shorter. I think not short enough, I mean too short in this case. But anyway, that's what I did, and you can see there the head doesn't quite fit on that ball joint. So an easy-ish custom to make a Last Jedi Kylo Ren, but you know what, we shouldn't have had to. He's a main character in the sequel trilogy. Whether you like it or not, I think he's got a very, very cool character arc. So again, we've got a bit of an assortment of Force Awakens and the Last Jedi Kylo Rens, but the version that I'm really advocating for to get in the Vintage Collection line is Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So after he's smashed his helmet, he's repaired it with the little gorilla guys and made the, you know, the red lines, and that's the one I want. I really want one with a swappable head, so we can have the helmeted version, the unhelmeted version, and I think the tooling could be reused for other figures as well, particularly Ben Solo, old good boy sweater Ben Solo from later on in that movie. But yeah, really would love to get that one in the line. It's never been done in 3.75 inch scale at all. They did it in the 5 inch, I think it was Galaxy of Adventures line, something like that. I can't keep up with all these different kid lines that come and go. Hot Toys did an amazing one. They did it in the Black Series. Everybody else has got it except 3.75 inch line. Now is the time. I will always advocate for cool villains on the line, and Kylo Ren definitely fits that for me. I loved his character arc. It was a really good transition from dark to light. Yeah, fantastic character. Even if you don't like the sequel trilogies, I just love the look of him as well. I love the design. I think it's fantastic. I'm a big Kylo Ren fanboy.
You know what you have to do, but you don't know if you have the strength to do it. Put Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on your top 25 list for March Madness. May the Force be with you.
So once again, I would love to get an updated Kylo Ren, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, with articulation as good as this guy, the Dark Times Darth Vader, and we've seen this repacked a number of times in his different variations, which has been absolutely fantastic. Now, what else? Thank you so much, everyone who has entered in my competition for 2,000 subs. The thank you, the prizes. I'll be drawing that soon. There's a few more days for you to put a comment in there and go in the draw. Thank you so much for all your support. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures. Ka kite, and I'll see you on another video.